Alrighty guys, what is going on everyone, and welcome back here to another live stream. Hope everyone is doing good out there. Glad to have everybody. Let's go ahead and see who is here. We have ourselves John, we have David, we have Ronald, we have Inute, we have the Bep, we have, let's see here, we also have Ready or Not, Caden, Rain, Burrito. What's up everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. I don't know if y'all just heard that, but there's actually an alert that just came through here. For portions of, I believe, Florida. Speaking of Florida, I'm dressed up very, very tropical for this quote-unquote tropical event here. It's not a tropical storm. That's the big misconception that people are having right now, is the fact that this is not a tropical storm. It does not meet all the requirements to be considered a tropical storm, although it does have a lot of similar traits to it. And the fact it could be bringing some strong winds, maybe even some tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds. I think all of it could be a possible concern here. Speaking of, I do want to show you guys something interesting that's been popping up here. Before we really dive into it, I wanted to go ahead and show you guys. We switch over here to Miami radar. We had this sudden burst, and this is not a storm because, like I said, correlation coefficient is showing this is not meteorological. What this actually probably is either an explosion or a big old fire that's kicking off here. So that is a little bit concerning. I actually tweeted about this here a little bit ago, which it's definitely a little interesting, that's for sure. So I don't know what's going on out there. Although, like I said, this is not storm activity. Anyways, well, what's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. Let's see. Joseph says hi. What's up? Sam says good evening. Good evening, Sam. Janice says hi. What's up, Janice? Coles says hi. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well out there. So, yeah, we have a lot of stuff on the table here regarding the, regarding the tropics, quote unquote, the tropics, severe weather land. I mean, we got a whole bunch of stuff that's kicking off here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you all over here to the Storm Prediction Center to take a look and see what the risks are over the next little bit. So today's risk, we actually do have a 2% chance for tornadoes right there, kind of along the coastlines of Florida. You know, kind of right there towards like Pensacola. Actually, Mobile, Alabama included with this as well. Potentially, I'd keep an eye on it. Damaging winds is a concern as well. Got another alert coming through. What the heck is going on? Hold on, we're gonna tune into this. This is down here in Miami, by the way. It's got to be a special marine warning or something.
The National Weather Service in Miami has issued a special marine warning.
Okay.
Waters from Deerfield Beach to Ocean Reef, Florida, from 20 to 60 nautical
Interesting
miles
stuff.
in the territorial waters of Bahamas. Waters from Jupiter Inlet to Deerfield Beach, Florida.
You know, there's actually something. All right, we're gonna turn this down for a minute. There's something I want to go ahead and show you guys. Actually, look at this. I think this is a flash flood emergency they put out. Yeah, look at, wow, dude, that is nuts. Look at this. Between 10 and 12 inches of rain has already fallen. An additional rainfall amount of 2 to 4 inches is possible. Holy cow, dude. That is nuts. Nearly a foot of rain has fallen for these areas. This is right over Fort Lauderdale too, so that it's it's a pretty populated area. Do I have radar scope? I do on my phone and on my tablet, but I don't have it on computer. I use a lot of better programs on my computer. Goodness. Okay. Well, now that that is out of the way, I do want to take you guys over here to the let's see. Take you all back here to the Storm Prediction Center, because tomorrow they actually have a really big marginal risk here for severe weather. Look at that. So a lot of areas here in the southeast, throughout like portions of Florida. We got Georgia, Alabama, eastern Mississippi. We got northern, the panhandle of Texas. Yeah, we have marginal risk here. Tornado probability is pretty large. Overall, you can see just how large of a risk that we have out there towards these areas in green. So tornadoes will be a possibility here. Damaging winds as well, 5% chance for that. And when it comes to hail, there's actually a small little hail chance across like Florida, Georgia, Alabama region. So it's definitely a little bit interesting. So tomorrow we might need some coverage. This is actually happening pretty early. And then once we move into Friday, we got ourselves another severe weather event to schedule here. And then obviously here for Saturday as well. So it looks like we're starting to pick back up in some of the intensity here, my friends. So that's it's kind of unfortunate, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll get the zip codes here in a moment there, John. Overall. But I do want to go ahead and talk to you guys about this system. So let me actually go ahead and line this up here perfectly. We're going to go ahead and switch down to the southeast here. So like I said, if you don't know what's going on here, we have ourselves a very, very, like I said, very, very strong low pressure system that's rolling its way here towards the coastline. Like I said, it could be bringing some similar problems as a tropical system would, as they work pretty similarly. But like I said, this is not a tropical storm. If anything, this is a subtropical storm here. But obviously, as you can see here, based off of the NAM3K, we have ourselves a bunch of these individual cells that are really popping up out there. Like I said, each one of these little guys, I mean, some of these guys could definitely be producing some tornadoes here potentially for tomorrow. Because like I said, we do have ourselves a pretty large risk here. A pretty large tornado risk there tomorrow. For portions like we discussed, for areas of Florida, Georgia, Alabama, we might need to be looking out for that here. So let's see here. Paul says, "Is Central Illinois have severe weather on Saturday?" So right now for Saturday, let's see. We're gonna switch you all back over here to Saturday's look. Southern Illinois right now does have a risk here for severe weather on Saturday. Yep. So Saturday, I definitely say you should watch out for it. Like I said, Saturday, we have Friday here too for the Central Plains, so we'll keep an eye on it. So what's this storm going to be like? So, David, whenever it comes to this guy, we are going to be having a lot of potential impacts out of it from coastal flooding, obviously due to those strong winds moving inland. It's not going to be, like I said, it's nothing like a hurricane or anything like. No, it's nothing like that. Although I will tell you, it is something we should watch out for. If I was to take a look here at the winds towards the surface, let's go ahead and bring out these winds here. So according to the models, let's see, we're gonna do lower dynamics. There we go. 10, yeah. So according to the NAM3K as one of the model sources here, it does show the possibility of winds constantly blowing right there towards Mobile. It kind of shows that's where like the central landfall is expected, right over Mobile. And it kind of shows some of those winds there towards the coastlines could be as high sustained as 40 knots, which that's in the tropical storm boundary. But like I said, this is not a tropical storm. This is what we call a subtropical storm. So overall, this is going to be really, bringing a potential of flooding, coastal flooding there towards the coastlines of, Alabama and, basically the panhandle of Florida here. Could be bringing some of those problems with some of the strong winds that's moving inland. Also, the threat for rain exists. Like I said, I mean, Florida, you guys have been pretty dry out there. Once again, I'm just amazed currently right here towards Fort Lauderdale. Like I said, if you guys don't know what's going on out there, they issued a flood emergency, flash flood emergency, which is nuts. Look at this. Between 10 and 12 inches of rain has fallen. 10 and 12 inches. 12 inches is a foot of rainfall, by the way. Like, that is a heck of a lot of rainfall that's actually occurred. So, yeah, we got some pretty gnarly storms rolling through. These guys are nearly stationary. I mean, they are hardly moving at all, which is allowing for, the continuous heavy rainfall just to sit over one location and obviously cause a bunch of flooding. So that's kind of the big problem here. That is kind of the big issue out there. But like I said, my friends out there towards Fort Lauderdale, you definitely want to seek higher grounds if possible, because like I said, it's definitely going to be a little bit nasty out there. Once again, like I said, Fort Lauderdale, I mean, you guys are very, very populated, so who's ever out there definitely needs to be watching this. Now, when it comes to the models here, let's see, we're actually gonna move this up here to like the Central Plains region. When it comes to the models, obviously we have the very obvious, spinning going on there. Like I said, that's that subtropical system rolling inland here, kind of it's expected to make quote unquote landfall, kind of around like kind of middle morning, kind of showing around 8 o'clock in the morning or so, just slightly after sunrise, and then moving its way inland. Like I said, they do have a tornado risk out there. Let me actually go ahead and bring that up here for you guys. They do have a tornado risk here for tomorrow. Let's see, we're actually going to switch this to day 2. There we go. Yeah, you can see it faintly across the areas in that dark green. You can see if I was to, let me actually go ahead and draw this for you guys so you guys can see it a little bit better. But they do have, let's see, we're going to go ahead and ignore that. We're going to move over here. Okay, so they do have this overall area right here. So this is the regions where a few tornadoes can't be ruled out for tomorrow. So that's the overall tornado risk tomorrow. So like I said, it's pretty big. It's a pretty large risk here. I mean, typically when you see these, cyclones that make inland, on the right-hand side of them, typically you will sometimes see a bit of tornadic activity, and you can actually see a bunch of these strong to potentially severe thunderstorms firing off on this event here. Like I said, potentially bringing the threat for, like I said, tornadoes, even large hail and damaging winds, is a possibility, out of the system here. And once again, we are kind of expecting to have landfall right there kind of towards like Mobile, Alabama, kind of towards like areas of Gulfport, squeezing right between coastal Alabama and coastal Mississippi. Kind of right in these regions. It's now narrowed down to where this is expected to move inland from, or the central low of it. Like I said, those regions can obviously expect the possibility there of some coastal flooding. As we did mention before, some of the models do support the possibility of those winds being in excess of 40 knots, which, like I said, that's about 45, 50 miles an hour, which that's sustained winds with higher gusts being possible, which definitely could be allowing for the threat of, obviously, like I said, coastal flooding with all that winds pushing on the shore, moving all that water inland. So that's kind of a problem in itself. So yeah, we should probably watch out for this. Like I said, it's not like a hurricane or anything. I mean, you guys there towards the coastlines, y'all are definitely used to this type of weather, but just interesting to see what's going on out of this guy. I'm sure there could be some tornadoes, like I said, being a possibility out of this one, as it does look very, very probable. Anyways, but that's that, so we got to really look out for it. Weatherman Davis says, how is Middle Tennessee? So Tennessee, when it comes to this event, you might see, honestly, according to like the NAM here, it kind of shows a lot of the dry air getting towards you. Don't expect really much of anything. Although across areas here in the south, I'd say like towards Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, you guys might be in line for a bit of precipitation out of this. And I'm actually going to bring you all over here to the models to kind of show you all how much precipitation we could possibly expect out of this here. So let's go ahead and switch on over here to the models here. So here is the National Weather Service blend here. Once again, just taking a bunch of models, kind of mashing them together, kind of throwing them together, just giving an overall view of what we possibly could see. And, honestly, it's really not expected to be anything too bad. I mean, it's definitely going to bring some rain to a lot of the people out there. I mean, like I said, some of the maximum areas here, once again, towards like Gulfport, we were talking about maybe up there as high as 1 to 2 inches. I think that's a good possibility. And like I said, whenever it comes to it, it's kind of really targeting areas here like in western Georgia with the most potential heaviness out of it. Most heavy rain out of it, potentially up to 2 inches in some areas, which once again, like I said, rainfall is not terrible. Really not going to be a terribly big concern because this system is moving fairly quickly. I mean, it's going to be in and out pretty quickly. But like I said, the only main concerns I'd tell you guys on this storm here is the threat for a few tornadoes tomorrow. Like I said, we actually have a tornado threat today. If you guys are just joining us, let me go ahead and show you all real quickly the tornado threat for today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's tornado threat's actually quite large. It does cover a very decently sized area. So here's today's risk. We just got a little itty-bitty baby marginal risk out there towards like coastal Florida right there at the Panhandle. Also Mobile, Alabama included with it. Tornadoes, 2% chance. Damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour, 5% chance. But like I said, when it comes to tomorrow, you notice a much larger marginal risk there. Look at that, covering a lot of states. Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and even portions of east central Mississippi showing that possibility. And look at that, tornadoes, a large 2% chance there. So like I said, with that cyclonic vorticity that we have going on there, that's going to allow for, some tornado potential out of some of those bands. Like I said, there's a few bands that's going to be rolling through out of this storm here. If I can show you guys really quickly once again. Yeah, there will be definitely a bit of band activity that's going to be occurring. I mean, look at this. So we have this, big cyclonic activity. This is a big low-pressure system located right there. Once again, that low is expected to crash right there between, like, Gulfport and Mobile. And then, of course, moving more inland. And you can see how there's multiple bands, how it's not just one line. There's, like, multiple different bands here. And each one of those bands, definitely could have enough energy in them, like I said, with the strong winds inside of it, to potentially allow for some tornadoes to form. And that's kind of what we should be looking out for. Definitely should be looking out there for. Let's see here. Just got on. Hello, Andrew, everyone. I have a request. Let's see. Could you say... And that is my mom got kicked. Wait, what? She passed away unexpectedly Friday. Could you say that is that? that is that. What, Dusty? I'm sorry to hear about your mom there. Very, very sorry to hear that. Um, but what do you mean by that is that? I do say that a lot though. Let's see here. But yeah, once again, I'm really, really sorry to hear that, and hope that you hope you're doing all right out there. Let's see here. Doodle says hello from Gulfport, Mississippi. What's up? Yeah, like I said, Gulfport. You might want to watch out for this one. Like I said, I don't expect it to be anything crazy. Once again, these people out, you guys out there towards, the Gulf Coast. I mean, you guys are definitely used to tropical cyclones that are much worse than this. Once again, this is, nothing too extreme. I mean, like I said, it's going to be bringing some problems. Like I said, for the coastlines, it could be bringing a bit of issues, with coastal flooding, all that fun stuff, which unfortunately is a possibility. Like I said, I think that tornadoes could also, be one of the main concerns out of this here. Anyways, all right, so guys, we're going to take you all over to the models, and like I said, we'll get to those personal forecasts here in a moment, so hang tight. But I want to take you guys over here to the models, because like I said, we have another severe weather event that is going to be kicking off this week. A few days, actually, of severe weather being likely. So let's go ahead and switch you all over here to the models really quickly. We're going to talk about this activity in terms of what is going on or what's expected to go on out there. So here's the thing. There might even be a possibility, if I can even find the tab, there we go, precipitation type. All right, so here's the American GFS. So as we track way down in time, obviously, like I said, we have this cyclonic system impacting the Gulf Coast. Once again, bringing threat for coastal flooding, the threat here for possible, strong winds there towards the coastline, maybe 40 knots sustained max there, kind of towards like Mobile, Alabama. And of course, like I said, once we move inland, we have a new low pressure system, very, very like kind of oval shape, a very, very large oval shaped low pressure system that develops. I don't know if you guys can notice that. But yeah, we got another low pressure system, pretty strong one actually, developing across the central United States. Now here's what's going to happen with it. So here, according to the GFS model, we track way down here in time, there might even be a little bit of snow on the top portion of this. So it could be bringing some snow for everybody. That is a possibility. And you notice out of it, though, we have this kind of line that fires off. Now, there is the threat for possible severe weather out of this guy. And honestly, we should be watching out for it. We track way down here further in time, might even bring some snow for like Wisconsin, upper state of Michigan, according to this model here. And then, of course, the system rolls through and another system to follow right after, which I am watching. This system is still a little far out there, but this guy, the first one, yeah, this is one we should probably watch out for. And like I said, even the Storm Prediction Center has put out a risk here for severe weather overall. But we take a look here at the European model to compare this to kind of show you, what the offsets are. First of all, let's go ahead and switch back here to the latest 12Z run here, the long model run here. Once again, though, we have this low pressure system impacting the Gulf. Like I said, bringing those impacts out there we just discussed. And of course, we have this other low pressure system that develops here. And you can kind of see how the line starts to kind of develop here. Kind of right there towards like the Midwest, maybe the portions of the western Ohio Valley. Could be bringing in the threat for some severe weather. Now, this one does not show as much snow, except once you move into Wisconsin and the upper state of Michigan. So that's kind of like the main concerns. It's kind of like the main similarities here, I should say. Between the American GFS and the European model, this one right here, the ECMWF, there is a lot of support here in the possibility we could be seeing a bit of snow out of it, which I do think is a possibility. So we will we'll definitely keep an eye on it. We'll definitely watch out for it. And then, this model also does support another system firing off here for kind of for portions of basically next week. But that's still a little bit far out for that one. I'm not going to we're not going to focus on that one too much right now since it is still far out. But like I said, the main things we're watching here across the states here is obviously, this little subtropical system that could be rolling through here, or will be rolling through here tomorrow morning, actually, as well as, like I said, this next severe weather event here. Now, whenever it comes to it, I'm going to go ahead and switch you all back here to the model. Like I said, whenever severe weather is expected here, it's going to really start tomorrow, and then it's going to move into Friday and Saturday. There will be multiple days of severe weather out of this event. So we track way down in time here, and you can kind of see this little boundary develops here, and you can really see how storms start to fire off. You can't see the time, but this is shown here for the 14th, which basically is for Friday, I believe. And you can actually see how it does develop a line of storms that starts to kind of kick off here across like the central, Kansas portions, southeastern Nebraska even. starts to show a lot of potential thunderstorm activity in the models, and moving its way towards like Topeka, which, like I said, that is something we should consider watching here. Is the threat for severe weather out of it. Now, in terms of what we can expect, regarding how, what kind of severe weather are we talking about? Let me take you guys over to the models to discuss that really quickly. So we're going to go ahead and move you all back over to the models here. So here is the NAM model. This is the North American model. It's a kind of a mid-range model here. But if we were to take a look here at the available energy in the atmosphere here, basically, the thunderstorm food, essentially, tracking away down here in time, you notice how a lot of available energy becomes pretty present. We're actually going to switch over to the Midwest here for this. A lot of available energy. Like I said, typically you need these values over 500. And look at this. We're seeing them over 2,500. So that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of food for thunderstorms to really kick off out there. So, like I said, this is actually for late Saturday. Late Saturday. So, like I said, Saturday we could have a severe weather threat across portions of like the Midwest region, stuff like that. Now, while the instability or the energy is there in the atmosphere, the problem is with this is that there's really not that much strong winds. Now, I'm going to grab a little sounding here. Don't expect you guys to understand, what this is showing here, but according to it, first of all, a lot of available energies we just talked about, and there is kind of a slight change in wind direction. So that could fire off a potential for a few tornadoes. I think that is a good possibility. Damaging winds there. I think that's a big possibility as well. Maybe even some hail. So I do think that all hazards theoretically could be on the table here for, like I said, Saturday. Here for Saturday, I do think that's possible. Now, for Friday, my confidence is not too high for Friday's severe weather popping off. The reason is because, like I said, I mentioned this before many times in the streams, there's something called a cap, which basically a cap is think of it as an imaginary blanket. It's you cannot see it, obviously. It's basically an area in the atmosphere where it's warmer than what it is below. So basically what's happening is you have all this warm air rising. Thunderstorms, they start to rise, and they hit this blanket. And the thunderstorms, they can't continue on because they're being blocked off. So that's where you kind of see here in these dashed lines, cutting through the available food as we discussed. That's kind of showing us that we have a big cap or a big blanket that's preventing thunderstorms from forming. So that might be a big problem. And like I said, as we track way down in time, you see how once we move into Saturday, how that cap breaks and how it's more just straight up normal color and without the crosses. So like I said, that's showing us that the atmosphere is available, the atmosphere is open for the possibility of severe weather development. And that's why I really do think that here for early Sunday potentially, mostly late Saturday into early Sunday, that's where the severe weather risk is going to be mostly present. Now, I tell you what, we're going to switch you guys over here to the Storm Prediction Center because like I said, my friends, we got ourselves a big old risk here. I'm actually going to zoom this in a bit so you guys can see it a little better. So this is for tomorrow. So once again, we have the cyclone impacting the Gulf Coast tomorrow. Okay, we're expecting the possibility for some coastal flooding. Keep an eye out there for that. Coastal flooding is a possibility. Even the threat for, like I said, tornadoes. We'll get to that here in a second. Coastal flooding, strong winds, probably 40 knots, sustained being possible. Of course, with higher gusts, could definitely be a possibility. Now, whenever it comes to it, like I said, tornadoes, we have a big old risk for tornadoes tomorrow. Now, it's not a high percentage. It's a pretty low chance overall for one specific region to get a tornado, but you notice how it covers a large area of ground. So, right there across Florida, we're talking basically Orlando and north. So basically from there, including Tampa, actually. Tampa, Orlando, and north, we're talking a 2% tornado threat. We'll go ahead and bring that up. The page just updated. That's why I just did that. Also moving into Georgia, basically just south here of Atlanta. Moving in towards areas here of Alabama, south of Huntsville mostly. And, of course, we have a little portion here in the east central Mississippi. So these are all the regions across the green where tomorrow, being on Thursday, where we could have the possibility of a few tornadoes. So we'll keep an eye out there for that. Now, damaging winds does exist across those regions too, but it also introduces areas here in the Central Plains. Obviously for portions of like northern panhandle of Texas, western or the panhandle of Oklahoma, western Kansas, actually eastern Colorado too, and basically central and western Nebraska, showing the possibility for some damaging wind gusts, maybe up to 60 miles an hour, and then hail. We got a little hail threat, actually, across Florida, Georgia, and Alabama here for tomorrow. So we're going to watch out for that. But like I said, then we move into Friday. Now, Friday, we have an even bigger risk here across, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. So across the areas in yellow, that's a severe threat level 2 out of 5. The higher the number, the more severe it potentially could get. And we're in a level 2, which that is a decent chance for severe weather. Now, right now, there's no breakdown for it. But like we discussed, I have a hard time believing that storms are. I mean, storms are going to definitely have a hard time firing off here for Friday. I would not be surprised if they remove a lot of this concern because, like I said, there is something we call a cap. Basically, like I said, a blanket in the atmosphere that's preventing thunderstorms from developing. And so that cap could be a big problem here for Friday, as we looked on the models, and it did show that. But then we move into Saturday. And like I said, Saturday shows that cap lifting. There's no longer that blanket or that boundary that's preventing thunderstorms from forming. And we actually have a big old risk here for basically portions of the Midwest, portions of like the northwestern southeast, and even a little portion of the western Ohio Valley could be included. So like I said, areas of Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, and Illinois should be on the lookout for this here. So we will definitely be looking out for that overall. So, like I said, this is here for Saturday. Once again, this will be like late Saturday. We're going to see a bit of severe weather activity popping off there towards, the regions we just talked about. And then, of course, later on down in time, right now, there's nothing else. But like I said, we're watching out basically from today. We have a small, itty-bitty little marginal risk there. As some of those rain bands, from this quote-unquote tropical system, which, like I said, it's a subtropical storm. But like I said, if I was to move back over here to, wrong screen there. If I was to move y'all back over here to this view, like I said, showing y'all the future regarding, the storm here. Like I said, some of those rain bands could be making landfall, like I said, basically not like right now and tonight. So a few of those could cause a few spin-up tornadoes. That's why we have that little risk out there. But then, like I said, once it makes landfall, kind of around like the early morning tomorrow, it is going to be, like I said, it is definitely going to be moving its way up here northward, and like I said, possibly firing off a bit of tornadic activity there, towards like Florida, towards Georgia, towards Alabama. Like I said, we have that big old 2% risk here, which, like I said, 2% chance for tornadoes is really not a big overall chance, but like I said, the fact of how much ground it covers, though, that's the thing. It covers a lot of ground, meaning that there is a more probability of having tornadoes than a smaller, lower 2% chance. So since it covers a large region all the way from basically areas, throughout Orlando, 2% risk out there, all the way down towards St. Petersburg, Tampa region, driving up through Jacksonville, goes up basically here. It does include Atlanta, but mostly just south here of Atlanta. Not much further north than Atlanta. Obviously Birmingham, south of Huntsville here. And like I said, it's an overall big threat. I mean, there's a lot of areas included, is what I'm saying here, for a very low percentage. So you get what I'm saying? So it will definitely be possible that we could have a few spin-up tornadoes out of this cyclone here that makes landfall across the Gulf Coast. So that is overall, that's what we're talking about with the tropical activity or the tornadic activity out of this system overall. So that is what we are seeing there. Let's see, how's it looking for Chicago on Saturday? So Saturday, like I said, we do have a severe weather threat for Saturday. Chicago, I think you might be a little bit north, but like I said, obviously the models do support the possibility for maybe a bit of severe weather there. It'd probably even happen early Sunday, maybe late Saturday, early Sunday. I'm not saying it's impossible because, like I said, some of the models do support that possibility of, a bit of instability being out there. But although it does show kind of a cap, but not really that strong. Like I said, that blanket is available, but really not that strong that could, hurt thunderstorm development. Not to mention winds out there towards Chicago. Those winds across the, all portions of the atmosphere, they're moving pretty weak, especially the surface, I should say, which might have a hard time, organizing these storms. You can see there's a little bit of a little kind of ridge there. That's what we call a cap. That's the cap in a visual perspective. So that might have a bit of hard times firing off some storms out there towards Chicago. So, like I said, even though the available energy for thunderstorms exists, I think they're going to have a hard time firing off here. And like I said, if it was to have severe weather activity, it would be here for basically late Saturday, early Sunday. So that's basically what we're seeing out there. Alrighty, guys. Well, I tell you what. You know what time it is. We're going to go and take y'all over here to the personal forecast. So if y'all have a zip code, make sure you throw down a zip code. I need to fix this mic here because, like I said, I got a new desk here. I don't even know if you guys could tell. I got a big old U desk here. But like I said, if y'all have any zip codes, hey, let us know. We'll go ahead and do some personal forecasts here for you, and we'll make sure we get you on your way. All right. But like I said, yeah, there's just a few things we need to look out for over the next few days. Is, like I said, severe weather across the central and kind of east central country, and then obviously, like I said, this tropical quotations tropical system making landfall, even though it's not a tropical cyclone at all. All right, here we go. Here comes the zip codes. All right, first up, we got ourselves, let's see, Bep wants me to take a look here at 32726. All right, so you're across Florida, my friend. Okay, so here's the thing. So you are in that 2% chance for tornadoes tomorrow. Like I said, a few of those bands from this, once again, this quote-unquote tropical system is more subtropical than anything because it's not, they don't really form the same way. But as you can see there's a few of these storms that could be rolling through here for tomorrow that might have the possibility of firing off a little bit of rotation out of some of them. So a few tornadoes nearby could theoretically be possible. So I would keep that in mind. But other than that, once the system kind of rolls through, it should be out here by by the 14th in early morning. And like I said, once it rolls through, then you should be mostly fine. But like I said, just keep it out there tomorrow for a few rotating thunderstorms possible as a result from this system moving inland. But that's about all that's going on there for you. Let's see here. We have Mickey wants me to take a look here at 75501 across portions here of Texarkana, Texas. Gotcha. So you're in the you can literally not go any further northeast in Texas here. But when it comes to it, right now on the immediate range, there's really not much, although I will tell you this. There might be the possibility for a few severe thunderstorms. I'd say probably either Friday night or into Saturday. Friday night into Saturday, there might be a few possibilities of some thunderstorm activity, perhaps a few severe thunderstorm activity. Could be possible, as the Storm Prediction Center does actually have a risk out there, as you can actually see. Barely. I mean, you're not even in the main risk there, but like I said, you're right on the edge of it. And like I said, outlooks are not perfect. So obviously, a few storms could happen in and outside of the outlook area. Now, when it comes to, here's the thing though, but whenever it comes to Saturday, like I said, Saturday night, we have another risk that extends east of you. So that line's going to eventually pass over you. So it might have the possibility. So we'll definitely keep an eye out there for that. Anyways, but that's what's going on there for you, my friend. Let's see here. Next up, we got ourselves, let's see here. Ethan wants me to take a look here at 35055. 35055. All right, it's across Alabama. Okay, so here's the thing. So you are in that risk here for, like I said, you are in that risk here for possibility of a few tornadoes tomorrow. Once again, very, very low chance overall. I mean, like I said, it's going to be very, very hard to actually see some tornadoes near you. Very, very low chance overall, but it exists. It just cannot be ruled out there. Now, when it comes to it, though, like I said, we switch. Obviously, as we move our way down here in time, this is going to be impacting mostly tomorrow. It should be out by the 14th for you. No big deal after that. But here for Saturday, as you did discuss, we don't have a risk out there for Alabama yet for the northern sections. But this is a level 2. Across the yellow, this is a level 2 out of 5. There is another region that will likely be expanded outwards. So I would keep an eye on it possibly here for Saturday. Not saying it will happen, but I do say that there is a possibility of maybe, just maybe, a little bit of thunderstorm activity could occur. So keep an eye out there for that. But like I said, really right now in the immediate range, the only thing you got to be looking out for tomorrow is the threat for, a few of these storms. Now, like I said, it's not just the threat for tornadoes too. There's also a chance for some damaging wind gusts, perhaps up to 60 miles an hour. I think could definitely be a concern. But overall, that's kind of what we're talking about with that. All right, let's see here. Next up, we got ourselves, let's see. Mason wants me to take a look here at 75566. 75566. All right. Marietta, Texas. Okay, so you're basically here towards Texarkana as well. So, yeah, same thing applies for you, my friend. There is, once again, a threat for possible severe weather here on Friday evening, kind of like, right there, kind of after sunset. Possibility for a few strong to perhaps a few thunderstorms that could occur, which, like I said, I mean, that is a chance. But other than that, you're pretty much golden. You're pretty much clear. Like I said, we obviously have this cyclone that's going to be rolling east of you, but that in itself, this subtropical cyclone here we're talking about, it does not look like it's going to have any impacts on you at all. So that's good news. Definitely good news. But like I said, the only thing I'd watch out for you is the possibility for a few strong to severe storms, probably for Friday night. But that is that. Let's see here. Next up, we have ourselves Let's see. We already did you, Mickey. Let's see. We have ourselves. Find a zip code. We have Lawrence. Lawrence wants me to take a look here at 48089. 48089. Across portions here of Michigan. Gotcha. So here's the thing. So, okay, you're right here towards Detroit. Now there is some areas, as we actually did discuss, that could see the possibility for a little bit of snow, more specifically for Wisconsin and the upper part of Michigan. Now, you're well far out of that region there, so I don't think you're going to have any problems. However, whenever it comes to like the future, towards those areas up there, let's see if we're going to bring it over here to the models. You're probably likely going to be getting a bit of rainfall out of this here. As you can actually see, the GFS model does show a lot of rain rolling up there towards your location. You can kind of see for like the evening of the 16th. You're probably going to be seeing a lot of potential rainfall out of this here. Now, right now, it's still a little early of how much you could expect, as it still is, a couple days out, but the confidence is there. And like I said, that's a part of the system that's going to be rolling through that is, what we need to be watching out here for. So overall, that is that. That is essentially what we are looking at regarding, the storm system that's rolling through. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it. But other than that, yeah, that's really your only impacts. Basically, between now and then, I mean, we're pretty much clear, my friend. We're pretty much in the clear, except for, like I said, once we move into the 16th, kind of the evening, when things are expected to pick up a little bit regarding precipitation. But that's that. That's your forecast there for you. Alrighty, let's see here. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Alex and Ben wants me to take a look here at 63119. 63119 across areas of St. Louis. Okay, so St. Louis, Missouri here. Let's see. So you, my friend, for St. Louis. So whenever it comes to, like, the future, obviously we have the system that's rolling through. Not expected to drive anything, like I said, with this cyclone is making landfall. Not expected to drive anything for you really out of this system. However, here, let's see. Like I said, back from the, oh wow, I just realized something, y'all. They put a significant risk out there. You see that? That's interesting. But like I said, whenever it comes to it here, you said for St. Louis, so we are watching out for Saturday night. Okay, Saturday night, as you can see, you're basically just south, or you're basically just north here of the yellow. Like I said, the yellow is the risk for severe weather. And once again, this is kind of here for Saturday night. So this will almost be like early Sunday, perhaps mostly. Watch out for that as you are kind of in that risk area. This is as far as like the NAM model goes, but it does show that line developing here, possibly heading there towards like Kansas City and St. Joseph, those regions. But yeah, but that's basically what we're looking at out there. Let me see here. Next up, we have Mower. Let's take a look here at 67042. 67042. All right. You, my friend, are across Kansas, El Dorado, Kansas. So it's southeastern side. So yeah, as you can see here, you're probably going to be in the line of fire for some thunderstorms. Now, this is kind of showing here for like the late 14th into the early 15th. So definitely should be watching out for that. Now, whenever it comes to the risk out there, my friend, like I said, whenever it comes to the Storm Prediction Center out there, as you can actually see, you're inside the slight risk, that severe threat level 2 out of 5. Now, like I said, I don't really have too high of confidence, especially for these southern areas of seeing, thunderstorm development. Because like I said, we have this what we call CAP, basically this blanket that's preventing thunderstorms from forming. It could have a hard time firing off some thunderstorms, but overall, the ingredients are there for possible severe weather activity here for Friday night. So keep an eye on it. Definitely should be watching out for it. And that's pretty much what we're looking out for. Now, overall, before that event, I mean, it's going to be pretty much clear. Between like all tomorrow, it's going to be nice. It's not supposed to be bad. It's not until, like I said, basically the late 14th is whenever you're expected to see a bit of possible severe weather activity out there. All right, let's see here. Next up, we got ourselves. Let me see. John wants me to take a look here at 60632. 60632. Okay, Chicago, Illinois. Gotcha. So, yeah, so therefore Chicago, whenever it comes to it, like I said, the only thing we really have going on for you, regarding anything, like I said, we actually did talk about areas of Chicago here a moment ago. Now, when it comes to it, there is a chance, like I said, there is a chance of available energies. You can actually see out there, see that Cape See how it says Cape 1200? Now, like I said, that's a lot of available energy for thunderstorms, but under that you see CIN, or CIN. That is that blanket, that, like I said, that thunderstorm preventer, essentially. So that could be a problem. That could actually help prevent thunderstorms from happening. Although the available energy for thunderstorms does exist, that's pretty much all that we are, like I said, that's pretty much all that we are doing there. That's pretty much all that we are seeing. So I'd say it's not impossible, but let's keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Judy with a $10 super chat. Judy, thank you so much. Very, very sweet of you. Did I customize my chair, or do I recommend a ergonomic brand for bad backs? So I did not customize my chair. Actually, I need a new chair. Mine's not very good for any backs right now because mine kind of broke a little bit ago. I don't know if you can see. Your chairs are not supposed to do this. They're not supposed to, like, fall. I got mine off of Staples, actually. I really can't tell you much about this. I mean, like I said, all I can tell you is that I got it on sale and I got it from Staples. But look out for something that looks like this. I mean, because you can see this cushion is good for, like, back support, as it kind of works like a lumbar in some ways. But other than that, I mean, that's about all I can tell you on it. I just got it for a pretty good price, which I can see why they knocked it down so much, because the thing breaks and breaks like so easy. But thank you, Judy. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Let's see here. Will the cyclone in Australia be very strong? It's a cyclone. Yes. Yeah. Like I said, we're watching out here for that's something we should actually mention out there. Is to my friends out in Australia. Like I said, you guys are dealing with a very nasty cyclone that's expected to make landfall here. Let's see. We're going to switch y'all over here to the models again. We're going to do HWRF, as this is a, holy cow. Yeah, this is a, very, 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 very known hurricane model. Look at this. So, yeah, this thing's expected. Wow, dude, that is a nasty system. So, yeah, if you don't know what's going on here, like I said, you guys are definitely expected to get hit here pretty good. Moving inland, causing potentially a lot of problems. We've actually been talking about this over the last few days here, and it's gonna continue rolling for a bit. Now, like I said, it's expected to make landfall here actually tomorrow morning around 11 a.m. So I might actually do some coverage on that. We'll see. It'll probably be later on after it's made landfall, but probably should do some coverage on it. So we will watch out for it. See, I guess I really need to shop. Thanks. No problem, Judy. Thank you once again for the 10. Let's see here. But like I said, if y'all have any zip codes, let us know. We have John next up. All right, let's go ahead and switch back here to NAM3K just for the reference. John wants me to take a look here at... we have two Johns, actually. John's supposed to take a look here at 32256. 32256. Got a warning coming through, actually. Y'all hear that? Uh-oh. Let's turn it up a bit so y'all can hear that. You're in a 2% tornado threat tomorrow, by the way. So a few of those bands from that cyclone could... Okay. Could throw a few spin ups possible. All right, let's see what all this is about here. Oh, okay. This guy right here, they just warned here. Let's see. Water spouts. Yikes. Yeah, like I said, if y'all don't know what's going on out there towards like Fort Lauderdale, they actually have a flood emergency, which you can see. A flash flood emergency. It's a pretty big deal. Look at that, between 10 and 14 inches now. What? Oh my gosh, dude. That's gone up since last time I seen it. Between 10 and 14 inches. All right, we're going to turn it down. 10 and 14 inches of rainfall. That is like nearly a foot of rain that has fallen here in the last... Yeah, since the beginning of the storm. Like I said, that's the problem, though, is that you have very, very heavy rainfall, and this system's not even moving, really. It's very, very stationary, as you can kind of tell. I mean, like, it is literally just, like, sitting there, which is a big problem. Hold on, there's actually a report coming through. Let's see. Member of the public reported knee-high water in Fort Lauderdale near the intersection of Southwest 1 or 17th Street and Southwest 1st Avenue. Wow. Up to knee deep. That is, yeah, no, that's pretty aggressive. So, like I said, you know, that just really kind of shows you when you don't have very strong winds across any level of the atmosphere, and these storms pop off, they just sit there like sitting ducks, and they just cause a bunch of water just to be continuously dumped over one area. So, that is, yeah, that's pretty brutal. That is very, very brutal out there. All right, let's see. Rebecca wants me to take a look here at a zip code of 29072. 29072. So, like I said, my friends out there in South Carolina, or not South Carolina, that's what we're looking at now. They're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Please be safe. Seek higher ground if possible. All right, so let's see. So now we're forecasting for central South Carolina, right here towards Columbia. Okay. Okay, so as you may or may not know, we have a cyclone that's impacting the Gulf states here. You can see that spin up occurring. Now, for you, whenever it comes to it, now you might see a bit of precipitation, as you can see here, represented by this model. Showing a bit of precipitation. This is for the morning of the 14th. So, like I said, between day after tomorrow, basically. Could see a little bit of bands roll through. Maybe some thunder even could exist out of these. But overall, nothing severe is expected for you, which is good news. Let's see. Whenever it comes to the Storm Prediction Center for severe weather tomorrow, yeah, see South Carolina's just out of that dark green. The dark green's where that severe threat level starts, but you're in the light green, which means a few thunderstorms could occur. So, yeah, a bit of lightning, a bit of thunder could be possible, but overall, like I said, you're not expecting to see anything crazy. Yeah, like I said, it's more of your areas or westward, you know, towards like Florida, Georgia, and Alabama that potentially could be seeing a few tornadoes. And like I said, that's actually what that dark green circle is. You see it? Going all the way from like areas just pretty much just north of, or basically there towards Tampa and higher, south of Atlanta mostly, and east of Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah, this actually does move into Mississippi a little bit, so might be a possibility. That's the tornado probability is across those regions here for tomorrow. But that is what we are looking at. Let's see. Hack says, "Hey guys, remember to like and share. Thanks. Nice shirt, Drew. You should sell those at my merch shop." Yeah, thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I got this actually in Florida whenever I went down there. But I wish I could sell these on the merch page, but unfortunately, the merch page that we use is kind of limited. Kind of limited to my selections. If I could, I would. Actually, speaking of, you know, what I'm going to do eventually is probably rehaul the merch store because we need a lot more stuff in there. That's something I'll get to here soon. Let's see. Brent Jones wants me to take a look here at 70659. 70659. All right, so you're across Brazil. What? Yeah, we can't forecast out there, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, the program I use here only allows me to go to one area. Or that's the U.S., basically. Well, for zip codes and stuff like that. Let's see here. Fairless says, "Hello, Andrew. What's up, Fairless? Hope you're doing good. How is 62650 looking for Saturday? I don't know if there'll be a little sun." A little sum? I'm sure you probably meant sun. Well, what's up, Fairless? Hope you're doing good. 62650. 62650. Okay, Illinois. Okay, so here's the thing. So Illinois does actually have a risk for severe weather here. When it comes to it, let me see here. So okay, so you're kind of right there in Jacksonville, west of Springfield. Okay, I got you. So when it comes to your risk out there right now, like I said, they actually do introduce a risk for severe weather here for Saturday night into Sunday morning. You're not in that specifically, but I would not be surprised if they do extend it your way because, like I said, back on the models here, they do actually, some of the models do support enough available energy or fuel for thunderstorms to kick off, as you can actually see right there in that color. There's no cap either, which that means that thunderstorms will likely occur. So I would not be surprised if that risk does get stretched there towards you. Wow, look at that. That is a really odd wind directional change. Look at that. That is quite crazy. Oh my gosh, look. Okay, so if you don't understand what's happening here, here's a sounding, basically taking a sample of the atmosphere. The winds are starting off moving to the northwest. They quickly change about a couple thousand feet up to the northeast. They change back to the northwest again, and they change up to the northeast again. What in the heck is going on with this wind pattern? Anyways, regardless, there's a lot of energy out there. Could fire off some thunderstorms. I am just... Mother Nature is crazy, I tell you what. But yeah, but like I said, it looks very possible that you could possibly see a bit of severe weather out there. So we'll watch it. Watch it. Like I said, right now you're not in the specific risk, but I do think you potentially could be in it in the next few updates. Alrighty, let's see here. Kimberly wants me to take a look here at 71405. 71405. Gotcha. This is in Louisiana. All right. So Louisiana here does not have a risk for severe weather anytime soon. Yeah, when it comes to the cyclone, like I said, we're actually seeing this thing make landfall, or quote-unquote landfall tonight into tomorrow morning, essentially. Kind of making that direct pivot there around like 8 a.m., essentially. Now, yeah, you're far enough west of it to where there's really not going to be much of any concerns. Really no rainfall is expected out of those areas for you. So you're looking pretty good. However, when it comes to severe weather out there, they do not have a risk here for you, either Saturday or Friday or Saturday. So overall, you're pretty much good. I don't expect any problems really to arise there with you. Although, I will tell you, I do think you will see some thunderstorms Saturday night, though. Let me explain. So let me go ahead and switch you all over here to the models again. So like I said, as we were mentioning, this is basically the available energy, the food that these thunderstorms ingest in order to survive. Basically, this is a bunch of warm air that's rising quickly into a cold environment. So with that being said, up there towards your location, there's a lot of energy. 3,300, when only 500 to 1,000 is basically needed. That's overkill. That's a lot of energy in the atmosphere. Let's see what the atmosphere is showing crazy on this one. Like I said, the last sounding we took, it was all over the place. Okay, now this one's actually a pretty normal sounding. I'm not going to lie with you. Wow. Okay. So actually, I think you might be upgraded into a severe weather risk based off of this sounding. I mean, look at that. See that kind of arch that's happening in the top right? That's what we call the hodograph. So that is telling us that wind direction is changing with altitude. And that is showing us a few thunderstorms could be rotating, meaning that possibility for some tornadoes, dew points upper 60s, lower 70s. Dude, that's a pretty aggressive looking sounding out there. Damaging winds is a big concern. I'd even say some possible hail. Even though you're not right now, I do think if this continues, I really think you might be in line for a severe weather event here. I mean, like I said, there's no cap either. There's really no cap at all. And that's what makes it concerning, you know, the fact that there's not that limitation. So that could bring some severe weather. Once again, that would be for Saturday night and the early Sunday. So we'll watch it. Let's see here. Next up, let's see here. Do I have an extended forecast through the summer? I do not right now, but I will eventually make a video on the summer forecast for you guys. I'll get to work on that here soon. Let's see. Godzilla wants me to take a look here at 60148. 60148. All right. Illinois. Let me guess. Towards Chicago? Yep, it's towards Chicago. So, like I said, we discussed on Chicago, possibility for a few strong to severe storms actually could exist. Only problem, like I said, there's that blanket that could be preventing thunderstorms from forming. This would be happening basically Saturday night, early Sunday. So, right now, the available... Okay, here's the thing. The energy for thunderstorms to exist is there. Like I said, thunderstorms could definitely exist. The only problem, like I said, there's that blanket. Because thunderstorms start from the surface, or near the surface, a couple thousand feet up, and then they start rising, and they start growing vertically. And like I said, the more higher vertically they grow, the more potentially, like I said, basically, the more higher they go, essentially, the more heavier the precipitation could be because, like I said, all the weight that's pulling down. Now, here's the thing: that blanket is basically preventing these thunderstorms from firing off. So overall, that could be a limitation. So I don't know. All right, let's see here. Productions wants me to take a look here at 40291. 40291. Gotcha. So you're in Kentucky, Louisville. This is right where I'm at, actually. Yeah, you're right next to me. So we actually might see some severe weather here towards our location here. Now, right now, there's really not much happening. When it comes to the cyclone that's rolling through, I mean, it would not be impossible if we did get a few showers out of it, but overall, our impacts out of this is not expected to be anything crazy. So that's good. That's definitely some good news. Now, like I said, we do have the possibility for a few strong to severe thunderstorms because, like I said, the Storm Prediction Center has actually put out a risk for areas west of us here for Saturday night. So I think Saturday night we potentially could be seeing maybe a few strong to severe storms. I think it's possible, but we'll let that marinate here for a little bit. We'll watch it. All right, let's see here. Emily, what's up, Emily? Saying 48423. All right, 48423 across areas of Michigan. Okay, so here's the thing. So, okay, you're just north of Detroit, so you're good. The only thing is like I said, we were talking about Michigan earlier, and the fact that, you know, areas actually here towards like Wisconsin, the upper portion of Michigan, the upper state or the upper peninsula, could be seeing the possibility for some snow out of this. Believe it or not, yes, snow is still in the forecast for those areas. Now, when it comes to it, for you, since you're basically, you know, just north of Detroit there, essentially, honestly, you're pretty good. The only thing I will tell you, though, and like I said, we've discussed this before for other people that live nearby as well, the only thing I will say here is that you probably could get a bit of rainfall out of this. You can actually see right there, you know, on the eastern side, basically showing you for like the evening of the 16th. Still a few days out, but it looks very, very possible in the fact that we might be able to see a bit of rainfall out of that. So, like I said, we'll definitely watch it. We'll see what happens with it. Let's see here. Yeah, like I said, this one really shows you that potential snow that could be an effect out there towards like Wisconsin and the upper state of Michigan, essentially. So those ones, yeah, we should watch out for that. But for you, like I said, you're lucky enough to where you're just gonna stick in the warm part of the storm and you'll just see some rain. That's about it. Let's see here. Jenny with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Jenny. Greatly appreciated. Very, very sweet of you. Thank you. That was very nice. Thank you so much, Jenny. Let's see here. Next up, we have Connor. Wants me to take a look here. All right, we're going to switch back to the main program here. Connor wants me to take a look here at 32081. 32081. All right, so this is across Florida. Okay, so you're right there towards Jacksonville. Okay, so the chances of you getting impacted by this system actually does exist. Like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a system that's actually brewing right now in the Gulf of Mexico. It's not a tropical system, even though it kind of looks like one, and a lot of people... Oh, I was wondering what that noise was. Thank you, Jenny. Greatly appreciate it. But like I said, you know, that is a subtropical system. Basically, a system that is not classified as a tropical cyclone because it's not developed the same way. Anyways, but overall, there still could be some tropical-like activities on this storm system for you. As you can kind of see some of those rain bands that kind of roll up there towards you, some of those could be rotating. Some of those could be throwing a possibility for a few tornadoes. And actually, the Storm Prediction Center actually put out a risk here for the threat for tornadoes. As you can actually see throughout portions of, let's say, between Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and actually eastern Mississippi, does have a tornado possibility. It is a 2% chance overall of tornadoes. So like I said, it's actually a pretty low chance overall, but the fact that it covers such a large area is what gives it a good possibility overall that we will likely see some tornadoes. So you see what I'm saying? That's kind of what I'm talking about here. So overall, it's not an extremely high probability across one location, but there is a possibility. But out there towards Jacksonville, yes, those regions, you are inside of that risk for a few of those rain bands within 25 miles, 2% chance of a tornado dropping. That's that. Jenny says, nice outfit. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Emily says, okay, thank you, no problem. Let's see here. Rebecca wants me to take a look here for this weekend at 32801. 32801 across portions of Orlando, Florida. So like I said, that's actually right here where that 2% ends. Is right across portions of Orlando. Kind of cuts off there on the southeastern side, but like I said, chances are still very, very low overall. Once again, kind of the same thing applies to you as we talked about there for like Jacksonville, is the fact that we are seeing, like I said, the fact that we are seeing a few of those rain bands rolling through, that potentially could bring a few tornadoes. Definitely does look to be a possibility. So overall, that is kind of what we are seeing there. But that is that. All right, let's see here. But like I said, I don't think you're going to completely dodge it. I do think that you will probably, could see a bit of rain out of it, obviously. Maybe a bit of thunder activity. As like I said, some thunderstorms will be possible out of it. Now, I forgot to mention this actually for a lot of you guys down there, is that the Storm Prediction Center actually does have a chance, not just for tornadoes tomorrow, but actually for damaging winds as well. So Orlando region could see that as well. And actually hail. And they did include Jacksonville. So whoever said Jacksonville, that's something you should also watch out for as a possibility for a little bit of hail. Although low percent chance, it's existent. It does exist, in which I would keep an eye on it for all hazards being possible out there towards these regions specifically. All hazards could be possible. Absolutely. I'll be there this weekend into next week. Thank you so much. No problem, says Rebecca. No problemo at all. And like I said, if you guys have any questions regarding all of this mess, like I said, feel free to let me know. Let's do a little update here on this flash flood warning. Because like I said, if y'all don't know what's going on in the current time right now, there's actually a really nasty storm that's kicking off there towards Fort Lauderdale. It's not going anywhere. It's very stationary. I mean, it's basically just staying in one location here. I mean, like I said, you can actually see over the last several frames, it's just staying over one location. Like, the winds are non-existent. I want to see something real quickly. Because, let's see. Oh, do I not have it? Oh, maybe I do. Okay, so there's a program I use to take a look at atmospheric soundings. I'm really curious to see a sounding out there from Miami. Because I think they launched a balloon an hour ago. Let's see here. We're going to change this. Newer version was found. I'm really curious to see what this is going to show. Because, like I said, the winds are not even moving, really, across the mid-levels of the atmosphere. Because that's why everything's just sitting there. All right, let's see here. So we got... All right, here we go. So this is one of the programs I use. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I think I broke my computer. This program is following... Oh, no! Oh, gosh. Y'all? Okay, I think I fixed it. My goodness, you guys. Alright, we're gonna fix that back up. I don't even know what the heck just happened there. My programs just decided it wanted to give out. Like, it was stuck to my mouse. That's the weird part. Anyways, let's go ahead and bring that back. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe this time it'll actually work. Okay. Anyways, let me go ahead and bring y'all back over to this view. So when it comes to it, I'm actually going to grab a little sounding out there towards Miami. Like I said, this was observed here for the 13th 00Z. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I want to see how the winds are, wind profiles. Oh my gosh. They're barely moving. They are not moving at all, really, towards the lower levels. Probably 10 knots, but they're just kind of like chilling. Wow. Yeah, there's a little bit of energy out there for thunderstorms. Anyways, that is that. But yeah, but like I said, that's just bringing a big old problem for my friends out there towards Fort Lauderdale. Because like I said, we have a flash flood emergency there, 10 to 14 inches. Let's see, can I check on Alabama real quick? Yeah, I can check on Alabama. We can do that for you. Like I said, Alabama does actually have a risk for a few spin-up tornadoes here. As you can actually look here. So like basically everything just south of Huntsville mostly. Mostly everything just south of Huntsville does have the possibility of seeing a few spin-up tornadoes. Maybe some damaging wind gusts as well could be possible out of some of these bands that tomorrow's storms could bring. So if you are in Alabama, depending on where you're at, there is a chance that this could be bringing some impacts. You can kind of see that central low located right here. Get it located. Oh my god, that's terrible. Anyways, but you can see that kind of spin up. That's where that low pressure system is, and it could be bringing a few of those rain bands throughout Alabama. as you can kind of see right in there, showing a bit of rain band activity rolling through. So like I said, basically is basically what we're talking about is that some of these bands could have a few rotating pieces on them that could fire off a few tornadoes. So definitely something to keep an eye out there for. Let's see, Miami here. Houses flooded, cars too. Miami Dade is not ready for a hurricane. Oh, trust me, I hear you. Well, at least we don't have to worry about any hurricane activity out of this anytime soon. I mean, like I said, obviously you guys are, y'all out there towards like Fort Lauderdale, as we just talked about. Y'all are getting flooded out there. Now, right now in Miami, pretty much clear. I mean, really not much happening at the moment. But like I said, right there towards Fort Lauderdale, I mean, it is just nasty. Nasty stuff. I mean, look at that. I mean, that storm's just sitting there. I mean, if you look at it, it's not even moving. I mean, seriously, look at that. Over the last, let's see. That's over the last hour that you're looking at right there. Just sitting there. Fort Lauderdale's just been getting drenched on from this one storm for an hour. Over an hour now. You hear that?
Additional rainfall amounts of 2 to 4 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is already occurring. This is a flash flood emergency for Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood.
Fort Lauderdale?
This is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. Hazard, life-threatening flash flooding. Thunderstorms producing flash flooding. Source, law enforcement reported. Impact, this is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now.
Wow.
Life-threatening flash flooding of low water crossings, small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Davie, Plantation, Sunrise, Lauderhill, Dania Beach, Chula Vista, Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, Ravenswood Estates, Melrose Park, Estates of Fort Lauderdale, downtown Fort Lauderdale, Washington Park, Broadview Park,
situations like this is very dangerous.
Everglades, Oak Point, Chambers Estates, and
You know what, like I said, whenever you have a storm that's sitting over one location with heavy rainfall coming out of it, it just dumps a bunch of rain all over the place. Anyways, but like I said, they've already detected out there, let's see, what was it, 10 to 14 inches of rainfall that's fallen out of that. Like, that is over a foot of rainfall. Like, it's crazy. Let's see here. I have Universe Sandbox. I do. Yeah, I don't really play it much, though. Anyways, but that is that. Scarlett says, can you please check on 50624? Of course. Let's see. You said 50624. All right. So you're across areas of Iowa. Northeastern side. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so here's the thing. So for you, my friend, whenever it comes to it, obviously, we're not expecting anything out of this Gulf system. You're far enough northwest, so you don't got to worry about that. However, I will tell you this. You do have a chance of seeing some severe weather out there. Now, even though you're not in the risk right now, I will tell you this. According to the models, we've actually been looking at here over the last little bit, the models... Can't see. There we go. The models does show a little bit of energy available for severe weather activity or for thunderstorm activity in general. So a few severe thunderstorms could occur out towards those regions. Let me go ahead and show y'all what I'm talking about here. So let's go ahead and switch over to that right now. So you can see across the areas in blue. So that's basically showing us that we have enough available energy for severe thunderstorm and thunderstorm activity in general. 1,500 joules per kilogram. That's a lot of energy for thunderstorms to develop. Let me grab a sounding out of this. Just once again, a sample of the atmosphere according to a given model, just to kind of give an example of what we might be seeing out of this. Okay, so the wind profile in this event, I tell you what, is absolutely crazy. Meaning that winds are changing directions like crazy. Throughout the atmosphere. Now, I will tell you, there's enough energy for, like I said, there's enough energy for some, obviously thunderstorms to develop there. Winds, not that strong towards the surface, but like I said, could definitely fire off a few thunderstorms. When it comes to it, damaging winds, I think, is one of your main concerns. I think it's a possibility. This would be here for Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. So that's that. Let's see here. Let's see, raining again tomorrow in Miami. So when it comes to Miami, let's see here. So according to, oh shoot, wrong screen there. So when it comes to Miami, here is a reference. Like I said, obviously we have that non-tropical low that is driving through. It will be possible, yes. Tomorrow we could see a bit of rain, possibly even overnight too. Yeah. It does look like maybe tomorrow morning we could see a little bit, but by tomorrow evening it should mostly be good to go, according to this model, anyways. Let's see. We're gonna switch over here to HRRR. Yeah, HRRR here. This is a good model to look at here. Let's see. That's Anyways, but yeah, that's all we can look at right there. But yeah, it does show a bit more rain tomorrow, as your question said. Definitely will be possible. Let's see here. Drew wants me to take a look here at a zip code of 68507. 68507. Let's see, Lincoln, Nebraska. All right, so Lincoln, Nebraska. Southeastern side. Okay, so for Lincoln, Nebraska, I will tell you what. I do think you might be in line for something. Let's see. Back to the NAM 3K. So according to, like I said, according to the NAM 3K here, as we track way down in time, you notice how areas towards Lincoln could see a bit of thunderstorm activity that pops up here. This is basically for the late 14th. So for the late 14th, I would be on the lookout there towards Lincoln, as it is possible, as you can see, a bit of thunderstorm activity that could roll through. Now, right now, Lincoln, Nebraska, is inside the marginal risk, that level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. So, yeah, it definitely looks possible. The only thing is like I said, what I'm a little bit concerned about is the threat of this cap. Like I said, what this cap I'm telling you about is basically, once you get a blanket in the atmosphere that's preventing thunderstorms from forming. So overall, that could limit your thunderstorm activity, depending on how strong it is. Now, some of the models says it's strong, some of them don't. But you can see right there towards like Lincoln, it's very capped out, meaning that thunderstorms are not going to want to fire off in this environment. Next frame you roll through, that cap kind of breaks. I mean, no model's perfect. It could go either way, honestly. Yeah, I mean, seriously, the NAM 3K though does kind of show that little opening window for the evening of the 14th. So yeah, it could be something. See, I need a boat. Yeah, you probably will. Most people in Miami, I'm pretty sure, do have boats too. Oh, got another alert coming through. What's all this about now? Let's go and listen to this. Oh, special marine warning. Oh, they put it right there for that storm.
The National Weather Service in Miami has issued a special marine warning for Biscayne Bay, coastal waters from Deerfield Beach to Ocean Reef, Florida, out 20 nautical
Water
miles
sparts and
until 10:30 p.m.
Water sparts? What's a water spart? Water spout.
Capable of producing water spouts was located near Sunny Isles. The severe thunderstorm was merely stationary.
Yeah.
Hazard: water spouts, wind gusts 34 knots or greater, and small hail. Source: radar.
That right there is a little
Impact:
area of
water
rotation.
spouts can easily overturn boats
Right there.
and create locally hazardous seas. Small craft could be damaged in briefly higher winds and suddenly
Interesting.
higher waves. Location:
I think that might be like a water spout trying to fire off.
Golden Beach, Lauderdale by the Sea, Hallandale, Fort Lauderdale, and Hollywood. Move to safe harbor until hazardous weather passes. Report severe weather to the Coast Guard or the National Weather Service.
Yeah, that's how that same storm that has that flood emergency that's dropped over a foot nearly. That is. Yeah, that's crazy.
Now for the official National Weather Service.
Like I said, that's literally went right over
right
over Fort Lauderdale.
Chance of thunderstorms until midnight. Then partly
Like I said, that's pretty nasty looking.
After midnight. Some thunderstorms may produce heavy
The
rainfall.
deadly and dreaded water
Lows around
sparks.
70.
Yeah, I know.
Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles
Yeah, but like I said,
an
there is
hour
actually a bit of
gusts
rotation
to around
popping off
30
with that
miles
there,
an
though.
hour. Chance of thunderstorm-
Wow, another one. The heck is going on now? Yeah, that little area right there, that's a bit of rotation. What the heck? Is Oklahoma going to be okay? Yeah, Oklahoma will be fine. Although
The National Weather Service in Miami has
there is a
issued
risk.
special marine warning for waters from Deerfield
Yeah, a lot of
Beach to
Oklahoma is at
Ocean
risk
Florida
actually here
from 20 to
for
60
Friday.
nautical miles, excluding
So
the
yeah,
territorial
I'd watch out
of
Friday.
Bahamas. Waters from Jupiter Inlet to Deerfield
Where is
Beach,
that?
Florida from 20 to 60 nautical miles.
Wow, they
10:30
issued that
p.m.
far out.
At 9:31 p.m., a severe
Bit of rotation on that guy too. You see it?
producing waterspouts was located 47 nautical
So that
miles
green
east
and
of
red
Lauderdale
kind of
by the
like
sea.
hourglassing
The
look,
severe thunderstorm was
that's showing that
nearly
there's
stationary.
rotation.
Hazard, waterspouts and wind gusts 34 knots or greater. Source, radar. Impact, waterspouts can easily overturn boats and create locally hazardous seas. Small craft could be damaged in briefly higher winds and suddenly higher waves. The severe thunderstorm will remain over mainly open waters.
That's good.
Move to safe
Yeah,
harbor until
hopefully
hazardous
boaters will
weather
actually take
passes.
that seriously.
Report severe weather to the Coast Guard or
Oh,
the National
wow.
Weather Service.
You can,
You can
they
also
put a
check
mesoscale
the
discussion out there
National
for that
Weather Service
heavy
Miami
rain
on
that's occurring. So
Facebook.
like I said, if you don't know what's happening right now, y'all, there's this one storm that's just sitting over one area. Dude, that rotation's actually picked
Now
up on
for
that
the
latest.
National Weather Service forecast for
Wow.
the Miami and Fort Lauderdale listening area tonight. Mostly
Let's
cloudy
switch
with
back
chance
over to
of
this guy.
thunderstorms
Yeah, the
until
rotation's
midnight,
actually
then
picked
partly
up on
cloudy
this,
with slight chance of
the cell that they
thunderstorms
just
after
issued,
midnight.
that special
Some
marine warning for.
thunderstorms may produce heavy
We might even
rainfall.
start doing some
Lows
coverage
around
here tonight,
70.
y'all, on this
Southeast
mess. Because
winds
like I
5
said,
to
this is
15
expected to
miles
kick
an hour
off
with
here all the way
gusts
to
to
tomorrow.
around 30 miles an hour.
Well, I'll be streaming on Friday,
Chance
I'm
of
sure. Yeah,
thunderstorms,
definitely.
50%.
Whenever any day there's like severe
Mostly
weather, like
sunny.
at least a slight
Chance of
risk, I always
showers
go
and
live
slight
for it.
Chance of thunderstorms in the morning, then chance of thunderstorms in
Wow,
the afternoon.
dude. Yeah, like I said, we
Some
should
thunderstorms may produce heavy rainfall.
really watch out for
Highs
these
in
guys.
the mid-80s. South winds 5 to 15 miles an
I'm
hour.
gonna move that up there. Okay.
Chance of precipitation 50%.
Yeah, and then here's the
Thursday
latest
partly
infrared
cloudy.
out of this guy.
Chance of
This is that
thunderstorms until
that
midnight, then slight chance of
cyclone or that
thunderstorms after
tropical
midnight.
cyclone.
Some
It's like I said,
thunderstorms
it's
may
not
produce
tropical
heavy
though.
rainfall
It's what we
until
call a
midnight.
subtropical system,
Lows around
here, meaning
70.
that it's just not.
South winds
It's
5 to
not.
10
It does
miles
not
an hour.
work the same way really as
Chance
a
of thunderstorms 50%.
tropical storm would. But it has very
Mostly
similar
sunny with
characteristics, like
20%
damaging
chance of
winds and all that stuff on it.
Highs in the
Definitely
mid-80s.
is possible.
South winds up to 15 miles an hour.
And like I said, that's
Friday
expected to make
night,
landfall
partly
here like
cloudy.
tonight
A
or tomorrow
40%
morning, I should
chance
say.
of thunderstorms until midnight.
Can I look at Colorado? Okay, so yeah, Colorado actually, believe it or not, does have a risk for severe weather.
Saturday.
You do, actually. Let's see, well, the easternmost side here, as you can actually see
Lows in the lower 70s.
tomorrow, there is a little bit of a region, as you can actually look at, eastern Colorado, that is in the risk here for a few severe thunderstorms. Tornadoes not a concern, it's just for damaging wind gusts, maybe up to 60 miles an hour.
Lows around 70. Chance of thunderstorms 40%.
But that's
Monday
about
and
it.
Monday night, mostly cloudy. A 50% chance of thunderstorms. Highs in the mid.
That's about all I'm seeing there.
Lows in the upper 60s.
Let's see what
Tuesday,
the how
mostly
much
sunny with
presentation is
chance of
expected out of
showers.
this guy.
Highs in the lower 80s. Chance of
Yeah, like I said, a
showers,
lot of places are
40%.
going to be getting a bit of
Tuesday
precipitation
night,
out of this
partly
here.
cloudy. Chance of thunderstorms until midnight.
See, we'll give this a second here to
Lows in
load.
the upper 60s. Chance of thunderstorms 30%. Wednesday, mostly
Yeah, there you
sunny.
go. So that's all the
Highs in the lower
precipitation that's
80s.
expected. Let's see, we're gonna.
These are the 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight
Holy
Time
cow!
conditions.
So according,
Wednesday,
wow, that's
April
interesting.
12th at
According
night,
to the
partly cloudy. Temperature
the NAM
71
model, the
degrees,
model we're
with
looking
dew
at
point
right now.
70, and the relative
Holy
humidity
cow! So some areas
96%.
in 10 inches of
Winds
rainfall.
at 8 miles an hour. Pressure
Not sure I believe that.
29.92 inches and steady. At Fort Lauderdale,
That is
a
pretty crazy,
thunderstorm
though.
was reported, reducing the visibility
try,
to
like,
1/4
regional,
of a
man.
mile. Temperature 72 degrees.
I would much
And
rather
the
trust
relative
this
humidity
version. man.
100%. Wind northeast
I
at
mean,
15
I
miles
really
an
would
hour.
not be
Gusting
surprised
to
though if
38.
those areas right where
Marine
that landfall is
observations.
expected did get a bit of rainfall.
The National Weather Service in Miami
Like something like
has
this, I
issued a
could
special
believe,
marine
maybe 3 to
warning
5
for
inches in
waters
some
from
areas.
Deerfield Beach to
So
Ocean
like I
Reef,
said, if y'all don't
Florida
know what's
from 20 to
happening,
60
there's
nautical
this
miles, excluding
strong
the
low pressure
territorial
system
waters of
that's
the Bahamas,
basically
until
making
10 p.m.
landfall there towards
At
Mobile and
8:59
Gulfport.
p.m., a severe thunderstorm
And
capable
according to
of
the
producing
models, it
waterspouts
could
was
be pretty
located 20
aggressive in the
nautical miles
rainfall.
southeast of Pacific Reef, moving
I can move the
southeast
thing
at
around.
15 knots.
But yeah, no, it could be
Hazard,
pretty aggressive
waterspouts and
with some
wind gusts
rainfall there
34
looking
knots or
possible.
greater. Source,
What's up,
radar.
Kyle?
Impact
Hope you're doing
water
good.
spouts can easily overturn boats and create locally hazardous seas. Small craft could be damaged in briefly higher winds and
But yeah,
suddenly
so
higher waves.
that's something we should watch
The
out for.
severe
I want to look at the
thunderstorm would
wind
remain
actually out of
over
this
mainly
guy.
open
See
waters.
wind gusts.
Move to safe harbor until hazardous weather passes. Report severe weather.
So
to
when
the
it comes
Coast
to
Guard
it,
or
yeah,
the
those wind
National
gusts could be
Weather
pretty
Service.
strong in some
You
areas.
can also share your report with National Weather
46
Service Miami on
knots,
Facebook and
which
Twitter.
that's like,
The
hold on, let's see.
National Weather Service in Miami has issued a special marine warning
Knots
for
to miles an hour. So
extreme
yeah, this shows
coastal
46
waters from
knots.
Deerfield Beach to Ocean Reef, Florida, out 20 nautical miles
46,
until
which is
10:30
52
p.m.
miles an hour. So that's definitely a
9:29
tropical
p.m.,
storm force
a
wind
severe thunderstorm
criteria. That's
capable
once
of
again, that's wind
producing
gust though.
waterspouts was located near Sunny Isles.
Yeah, this is sustained wind speeds though, up to 37 knots, which that's moving. I mean, that's definitely moving pretty good out there. I tell you what.
Source radar. Impact. Water
So,
spouts can easily
yeah,
overturn
we'll
boats and create locally hazardous seas.
yeah, we'll need to watch out for that. That's kind of one of the main concerns there is the threat for
Locations impacted include
wow, sustained winds there. That
Golden
right
Beach,
before it makes
Lauderdale
landfall out
by
there
the
could
sea,
be up to like 40
Hallandale,
something knots.
Fort Lauderdale and Hollywood.
So
Move
this
to
is
safe
equivalent to
harbor
a
until
tropical
hazardous
storm in
weather passes.
some ways,
Report
like so
severe
regarding
weather
those
to the Coast
winds
Guard
and
or the National Weather Service.
the
You can
the
also share
potential
your report
coastal
with
flooding
National
out of
Weather
it and
Service
stuff
Miami
too.
on Facebook and
Let
Twitter.
me bring y'all over to the models
The
actually really
National
quickly.
Weather Service in Miami has issued
There is a
special
model
marine
that does
warning for
support
waters
this,
from Deerfield Beach to Ocean Reef, Florida,
which is
from
the
20 to 60
ECMWF
nautical miles,
model.
excluding the territorial
Let's see,
waters
United
of Bahamas.
States, we're going to
Waters from
southeast.
Jupiter Inlet to Deerfield Beach,
Here in a
Florida,
second, I'm
from
going to bring
20
y'all
to
over to
60
this here.
nautical miles until 10:30 p.m.
Wave height
At
and
9:31 p.m.,
direction. All right,
a severe
let's see, we're gonna
thunderstorm
load
capable
that.
of producing waterspouts was located
Okay.
47
Yeah, here we
nautical
go.
miles east of Lauderdale by the sea.
So when it
The
comes
severe
to it,
thunderstorm was nearly stationary. Hazard, waterspouts,
so when it comes to it regarding the wave heights, according to the models here, as you can actually see, this is the ECMWF model, and it shows those waves pointing right towards the coastline. Because, like I said, what happens essentially is the waves move in the way that the winds are moving. So basically, the winds are blasting the northwest, or blasting to the northwest here, and driving a lot of high waves. You know, like I said, across the areas in yellow, that's representing over 10-foot waves. Now, of course, as they reach the surface or the coastlines, they do break down a little bit, which is good news. But as you can see right in this frame, this is for tomorrow at noon Eastern. It shows those winds pounding right there on the Gulf Coast, obviously, right there towards like coastal Florida, you know, for the Panhandle and you know all of that. But
flash flooding is already occurring.
that is that's kind of what we're seeing there. So obviously, once again, the main concerns out of the system is obviously, like I said, the threat for coastal flooding and the winds and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, we're gonna have to be watching this guy tomorrow. I think we're gonna be doing some coverage on it tomorrow. It's gonna be happening early, but we're probably not gonna join it till late. Do I think Friday will be a tornado outbreak? No, I don't think so. Let's see. So Friday, we'll actually zoom into that really quickly. Let's see. We'll change that to NAM.
Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Davie, Plantation.
All right. So when it comes to NAM here, let's see. We're gonna bring back to the
Fort
instability.
Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport,
Let's see
Ravenswood Estates,
here.
Melrose Park, Estates of Fort Lauderdale, downtown Fort Lauderdale,
Okay.
Washington Park.
So like I said,
Rocky
whenever it
Park,
comes to the
Franklin
amount
Park,
of energy
Fort
in the
Everglades,
atmosphere
Oak Point,
for thunderstorm
Chambers Estates,
activity,
and St. George.
drop down to the recent
Move
model.
to higher ground now.
For
This is an
Friday,
extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation.
as you can see, a lot of that
Do not
instability
attempt to
builds
travel
up
unless
there.
you are fleeing an area subject to
See,
flooding
that's for the
or under
13th.
an
So that's tomorrow being
evacuation order.
Thursday. And of course, when it
Turn
comes to
around. Don't
Friday,
drown when
boom.
encountering flooded roads.
Yeah, there's a lot of available
Flood
energy out
secure
there.
in vehicles.
A lot of
Be
severe
aware of your
weather
surroundings and do not
fuel,
drive on
essentially.
flooded roads. Please report
A lot of severe
flooding
weather
to
fuel that
local
could
emergency
exist.
services
Wow, look
or
at all
law
that.
enforcement and request they pass this information to the National Weather
Oh,
Service
wow.
when you can do so safely.
Yeah, that's showing a lot of
Flood
energy
watch
out
now in
there
effect
for
through
like,
Thursday evening. Flooding caused by
yes,
excessive
especially there for the
rainfall continues to be
15th, which that's
possible.
for Saturday, I believe.
The areas affected include
Look at that, over
South Florida,
4,000
including the
joules
following
per
areas:
kilogram.
coastal
If you don't know, that's a
Miami-Dade,
lot. That's like
Metro
overkill
Broward, and Metro
regarding
Miami-Dade.
available energy. I mean, for thunderstorms to fire off, you only really need about
Thursday evening.
500, and we're seeing like
Impact.
almost over
Excessive runoff may
4,000 in
result
some
in
areas.
flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other
A little
low-lying
overkill, like I
flood-prone
said.
locations. Additional details Periods of heavy rain will once again
I mean, I definitely think we
possible
could be
through
seeing
Thursday
a
evening.
bit of storm
While
activity.
showers and storms will be less
Now, when it
widespread
comes
on
to that,
Thursday than earlier
let's see.
this week,
Whenever it
any
comes
additional
to
rainfall over already saturated areas can lead to
that
continued flooding
convective
concerns,
inhibition,
especially
basically, like I
for
said,
poor
this is
drainage
basically just
locations.
the that cap we were talking about. Yeah, we could have a pretty big cap in effect there. I don't know, it does kind of break, though, in those later frames here for the 15th. Yeah, I don't think the 15th is really going to have that much of a problem having some thunderstorms firing off out there, but I definitely do think that we should watch it. Like, we'll definitely be live for it, no matter
Northern
what.
Broward County in southeastern Florida until 11:15 p.m. At 8:15 p.m., Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area.
Huh. Yeah, so we'll just definitely need to watch out for definitely need to watch out for it for the next few days and everything like that.
Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly.
Alrighty. Well, guys, I hate to do this, but I think we are going to head off here for tonight. Like I said, we have a lot of stuff we've talked about here today. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Once again, a big old thank you goes to our donators for today. Jenny, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Jenny and Judy with the $10 super chats each. Thank you for the support on the channel tonight. You guys rock. Thank you so much. And like I said, what I'm going to start doing here is, like, for every donation that's over like $20, I'm going to start introducing your names at the end of my videos. And so that way I will just give a special thanks to you guys out there who supported us. So once again, thank you all for that. Judy, as well as Jenny, you guys rock. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Once again, feel free to join our Discord. We have that link in the description. Take a look at our merch store. We got some cool stuff on there. Follow our Twitter at NWW1162. We greatly appreciate it. And all right, well, like I said, we're going to be going live tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time we're going to be going live tomorrow or what we're going to be doing. Obviously, I'll be giving you all an update regarding the severe weather and stuff. I think I might actually make a video tomorrow, and then I'm going to go ahead and make do a live stream tomorrow evening. That sounds like a good possibility. I'm going to make a video tomorrow afternoon talking about the severe weather, and then whenever it comes to tomorrow evening, that weather radio went crazy. But then whenever it comes to tomorrow evening, we're going to do some of that, more of the coverage. All right. Well, once again, thank you all so much for joining us. Y'all absolutely rock. Like I said, we love y'all out there. Thank you. Once again, big old shout out goes to Judy and Jenny. Thank y'all for the loving and kind support. You guys are the best. All right. Well, y'all take care. Stream's going to head off here in approximately, like I said, it's approximately here in 2 minutes. So if you guys have anything you want to say to your friends and family, go ahead and do so now. And all right, my friends. Well, until next time, we'll catch you guys here later on. All right, my friends. Love y'all. Peace out. Catch you guys tomorrow.
Highs in the lower 80s. Tuesday night, mostly clear in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows in the mid-50s. Wednesday, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. The coastal waters forecast for the following: coastal waters from Okaloosa, Walton County line to Mexico Beach out to 20 nautical miles, and coastal waters from Mexico Beach to Apalachicola out to 20 nautical miles. Small craft advisory in effect until 7 a.m. Central Daylight Time Thursday. Tonight, east winds 20 to 25 knots with occasional gusts up to 35 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet with a dominant period of 5 seconds, building to 6 to 9 feet with a dominant period of 6 seconds after midnight. Protected waters rough. A slight chance of thunderstorms. Showers. Thursday, south winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 6 to 8 feet with a dominant period of 8 seconds, subsiding to 4 to 5 feet with a dominant period of 8 seconds in the afternoon. Protected waters choppy. A slight chance of thunderstorms. Showers likely, mainly in the morning. Thursday night, southwest winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet with a dominant period of 6 seconds. Protected waters a moderate chop. A slight chance of thunderstorms in the evening. A chance of showers. Friday, southwest winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas around 3 feet with a dominant period of 5 seconds. Protected waters a moderate chop. A chance of showers in the morning. Friday night, west winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming southwest 5 to 10 knots.